Hello, welcome to the online talk series of the European Vegan Summit called European Vegan Summit Talks, or EVS for short. My name is Lena Anna Kuklińska and I'm a volunteer at the Green REV Institute, the first and only vegan think tank in Poland, the operator of the Future Food for Climate Coalition, and of course, organizer of the European Vegan Summit. As you probably know by now, the European Vegan Summit is a place where activists, politicians, people of business, and any other area possible meet on one stage to connect the dots between the worlds of animal, human, and environmental rights protection. To keep you up to date in between the summits, we organize these talks with the guests of our first edition, but not only, to go more in depth on certain topics and learn more about their work. The first edition of the European Vegan Summit took place in September 2022, and currently I want to encourage you to tune in for the second edition, which will take place this fall. Today, I will have the pleasure of interviewing Kristina Chaparro, the CEO and founder of Slovak Vegan Society, Slovenska Veganska Spolocnost. She takes care of the coordination of the general activities of the organization, as well as the V-Label and Green Canteen projects. As she says herself, her main goal is to build up a society where veganism is not condemned, but comprehended, while sustainable, cruelty-free, and healthier options are widely available. Last but not least, Kristina was a speaker at the 2022 European Vegan Summit at the panel Mission, Courage, Strength, Listen to Activists. Welcome, Kristina. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you very much.
Without further ado, I would like to jump into our discussion because we have a lot to cover today. My first question will be, let's start more from the outside, from the general, like let's set the scene for where we are. Today we are speaking about Slovakia. What is the legal situation of Slovakia when it comes to the introduction and implementation of laws that support the creation of a sustainable food system? Is Slovakia leading in the systemic change or rather taking small steps and maybe waiting for the intervention on the EU level, for example?
I would rather say that we are taking small steps when I was thinking about it. And regarding the food system, there are several initiatives in Slovakia, but yeah, each of them, when we are talking about the sustainable food or sustainable eating in Slovakia, the initiative are taken from the NGOs mostly. When we can take a look at the state or at some political parties, if they're taking some initiatives, they're talking more or less about the healthy food, supporting of local farmers, etc. But there is not much space for talking about sustainable eating connected to veganism. It's something still like utopia in our country, I would say this. And this can be also due to a small number of vegans and vegetarians in Slovakia. There are many people are trying to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy and eggs and so on. But the vegans and vegetarians is like 1 or 2%. So that's why you find more of these initiatives about supporting the local farmers and so on. And we do feel in our organization, and we have been feeling this since the beginning of our organization in 2016, that veganism needs to be normalized. Like you said it when you were introducing me, that we wanted that veganism is not condemned. It's more understood. People need to understand that veganism is not only about eating vegetables or fruits, that it can be a variety of foods. It has to be balanced, of course. And that's why we started also Slovak Vegan Society to do this. And still, for most of the Slovaks, it's unimaginable to consume vegan, and that's why we need to talk about it more. We need to do more vegan tasting. I think the Slovak producers need to make more vegan products because now it's like, yes, they are still making more and more, but I think we cannot compare ourselves to the neighboring countries like Austria or also Czech Republic and Poland, as I can see. And to sum it up, I think there is still also a strong pro-animal industry lobby in Slovakia, and I feel the food is not the priority now for Slovak politics, but that's why we are trying to bring it more to the, how to say, more to the society, to talk about it more and to make it closer to people.
I see. And you mentioned that, yes, one of the important things is to even organize tastings so people can actually see that vegan food is more than fruits and vegetables, which still baffles me in the 21st century that people still think this, but yes, it's quite common. And one of your projects, one of the most impressive projects, is the work you're doing to introduce plant-based meals to universities. Could you explain what activities within this project entail, and could you share some success stories or maybe some obstacles that you faced?
Yeah, when I was writing it down, I noticed that I wrote so many obstacles there at the end of this response. But when I think about it, it's so impressive that we can we brought the vegan meals to 9 universities now in Slovakia. There are 20 public universities in Slovakia, and 9 of them already has vegan meals. I will, like I told you at the beginning of our conversation, I will be totally honest, and I will share with you also the downsides and the things that are not working well. And I have to tell you that 1 year ago, we could boast ourselves with having 12 universities offering vegan menu. And now it's 9 universities, which is not still that bad, but we figured out that we have to do something with it because many universities jumped on the project quickly. They were very enthusiastic. And also we were enthusiastic about it, and we wanted to show them like a good example, you know, to the other universities. And like you can see that these universities are working well. They are providing vegan menu. So we maybe neglected some of the steps that we should have done before. And now we are working on it. So now we have 9 universities. They are placed all over Slovakia. So it's not only West, like it could be, like somebody could think that it could be only West, but no, they are actually in the Eastern Slovakia. I think it is the best collaboration ever. In Košice, there are 2 universities, Tuke Technical University, and another one, Univerzita Pavla Jozefa Šafarika, which is kind of hard even for me to pronounce. But I want to say here that they are so happy to provide vegan menus. And I went there 3 weeks ago to see them personally, to meet them. And all of the chefs there, the old ladies, sorry for saying this, older ladies or elderly ladies, they were happy, you know, even eating this kind of food, that they said that every time the vegan food is served, they are going to take the vegan food, even the chefs themselves, or even the employees of the university. So for me, it's very impressive that we could convince people who were eating all their life, they were eating meat, and now they are providing a cooking and maybe living the more or less, more vegan lifestyle. We were calculating this, how many vegan meals are served per month, and it's 6,000 vegan meals provided in a month in Slovakia, thanks to Green Canteen project. And just to, maybe I didn't explain this much, it's a regular providing of the vegan food every week. Some of the universities have it every day, but each of them has it at least twice a week. So this is, for me, it's great because the people already got used to it. You know, the students and the employees, and sometimes also the public can go to eat there into these canteens, and they got used to these days when they can go to eat there and they have vegan food. Some of them, of course, they're not vegans, but some people want to eat more healthy sometimes, you know, they take it like kind of like more dietetic option, even if it's not, but for them it is compared to meat. So this is the benefit why we started working with universities. I think you were asking about this. There is no regulation here which says that how many times the meat should be served per week, or no special recipes that need to be followed. So the university canteens work like restaurants, let's say, that they invent their own menu. And I will talk about this, I think, in the next answer, how it is in the lower levels of education. We made our survey, how it is perceived and how many students and employees want to eat vegan compared to conventional food. And the results are that 40% of students and employees who participated at the survey do not eat conventionally. So they are either vegans or vegetarians, or are reducitarians or pescatarians, or have some allergic reactions to conventional food. So it's almost half of the people of the students or students and employees of Slovakia who do not eat conventionally. And the survey was done on a sample of more than 1,000 people, and it was not done via our social media, just not to bring only vegans there. It was done on the social media of the university. So it actually showed to us that even if we do not push people to eat vegan through our social media, the results are these kind that almost half of the people want to eat not conventional food, or maybe a more healthy food. And regarding the obstacles, what you were asking me, yeah, there's a lot of them. Maybe one of the reasons why we had one also Eastern Slovak city before, Prešov, maybe you know it. They had vegan food before. They were starting with it 2 years ago, and we found out that they stopped. I went to see the university and found out that, and when talking to the people there and to the employees and to the students, and I saw the canteen myself, it was told to me that the quality of food in general is very bad in that canteen. So it's kind of hard, to convince some canteen to provide a good vegan food, and to even explain what is vegan food, if the canteen is not able to serve good food, So that's why several other steps need to be taken before you start, convincing them about veganism. Then there is a public procurement. I was talking about it in the previous talks which I have with your organization. And this means that if the canteen is under the state, they need to procure the food by not by themselves, but the state tells them for each year from which company the particular category needs to be taken. Okay, so if we are providing them the recipes, and there are some ingredients which are not procured to them, they have to buy it from their own budget. For them, sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. Depends on the organization of the university, how it really works there. Then, like I mentioned, the staff is older. They are sometimes they do not want to listen to us because they think that we are some spoiled children that do not want to eat everything that was provided to them. The other thing is that the staff changes quite frequently. So once you teach them to cook vegan, in 1 month, then there can be somebody else, who will substitute the previous person. So this can be a problem sometimes. And what I found out only recently, and I was thinking about it, how come it doesn't work the way I want to? I usually work on, via computer, and we're trying to do all this marketing and also via electronic conversation, sending emails and so on. And they do not have that much time for reading emails, or for replying to the email. So if you want to find out some information, you can send them an email, but you don't have the response, maybe sometimes 2 weeks, Then you call them, and directors of the canteens are usually in the canteen itself, you know, so they're also helping to the chefs to cook, so they do not even have time to pick up the phone. So you have to find a particular time when you call them and you tell them, sorry, it's going to be only 1 minute, please pay attention to me, I have a question, important question, because many times I have a question and I need the answer, you know, in order to put a good strategy to the project, you know. For example, now we want to deal a discount in some with some distributors, you know, so I need to know what kind of distributors they have, and you know, there are so many things that we want to know from them, and you need to you need to get the right moment to call them, or just to get the answer. But to sum it up, also I think it's very nice conversation with all the universities. I think there are very good relationships that we are having now. And I think it's also about the fact that we are trying to do as much as we can for them to promote the vegan food. We are sending them now the stickers. We are remaking the recipes. We are putting them into good files that they can work with. We're trying to find out what they're lacking. And this is very important for us to make them comfortable with the Green Canteen. So yeah, sorry for a long answer.
No, this was very interesting. But I have one follow-up to this, because I started thinking, you mentioned Košice, and I know that there's also medical degrees taught both in Bratislava, Košice. And I was wondering whether medical universities are more or less perceptible to your proposals, because this is something that baffles me everywhere, where I learned that actually doctors sometimes tend to be even less eager to learn about veganism, which is counterintuitive, but yes, it's the reality. So I was wondering whether medical universities or universities that teach biology or any sort of, you know, human-related, health-related subjects are more happy to accept your help or not.
Yeah. Good question. Thank you for that. We, the medical university, adopted vegan meals for every day during the week. The medical university in Bratislava, they have it every day, and actually the same canteen is providing food in some ministry, and they brought the vegan foods also into this canteen, and so another institution. And at the medical university, they were so happy that we gave them this opportunity to be a part of the project, that we made a big opening, also with the rector of the university, or dean, or how to call this person, and also the other staff. And we also brought their vegan celebrity, so it had a fitness trainer and moderator, presenter, TV presenter. So it had a very nice, can you help me with the word?
Yeah. It was a bigger event. Yeah,
it had a nice impact, because also the newspaper redactors came there, and yeah, they were interviewing us. It had a big impact, I think, this one. And there's another school which was working since the beginning with us, and it's the veterinary faculty in Košice, in the eastern Slovakia. But now we are having a little bit troubles, because they jumped off from the project, but we are trying to communicate again about it. And to the universities which do not have the vegan menu anymore, we are providing a new kind of stickers, where the students can make a picture of the QR code, and we are going to collect the concrete data about the students. And then we are going to provide this data to the university, that these are the students who want to have a vegan menu. So it's not going to be some general number, which we already have, and they're not listening to us. But I think that we can try also this strategy and show them, like, okay, now we have like 30 students who want to have vegan menu, and these are their names. We are not going to provide the names, but the email addresses, but everybody who is filling out the document is aware of that. So we're not going to do anything else with the data, just, you know, just to let the university know that here you have 30 or 50 people who want to eat vegan like twice a week. So can you please just start with this small number, and then you will see how it's going to work. And they said, okay, we can do that this way. So we are already collecting the data like this. And I think also the tastings are very important, because it's nothing very, that you don't attack the people, you know, that you don't have to push them to be vegan. You have to have the vegan menu in your canteen. Let's do the tastings and let's see how the people react. And you can also do the survey during the tasting. You can ask them whether they like it or they didn't like it. So we are planning to do this in September. So Medical University has it and we are proud of it. And the veterinary faculty doesn't have it anymore, but we're working on it.
I see. And what about the schools of lower levels? Why not primary schools or high schools?
Yeah, we're thinking about it. We wanted to start with the universities. Actually, the strategy is this, like this, that we want to reach to the most of the universities that's possible. And this way it's going to be more normalized. The vegan food is going to be more normalized, like I said at the beginning. But the obstacle there in the high schools and kindergartens and elementary schools is the regulation I mentioned. It's the regulation number 330, which we have, and it says that the meat needs to be provided 3 times a week to children or the adolescents. And there is also a second thing, because if we had only this condition, we still have a vegetarian day there, so we could do it on this day. But there are special recipes which are approved by the state to be followed. I think there are more than 100. And all the recipes are calculated nutritionally and so on. And they have to follow these recipes, only these recipes. None of them is vegan recipe. Each of them are vegetarian recipes. To this fact, there's connected another thing, that there's this public procurement. So when they know, when the school or any institution knows what they are going to cook for the whole year, they are going to pick, you know, 1 recipe a day from this bunch of recipes which are approved. They need to procure the food, you know, procure the ingredients. And then there is this public procurement that they can take it only from one company, only this company is going to provide it for them for 1 year. So it's also complicated, you know, that we decided that we are going to do this with the universities. But actually, we started thinking about or talking about this involving the lower levels of education through a different kind of project where you involve the municipalities. And I actually had the call with the Portuguese AVP, the Portuguese Vegan Society or Vegetarian Society last week, and I found out how they are doing it. And we might be doing this together maybe in the future. And here you involve all the institutions. They actually gave me good hints how they are doing it. And we might be able to do or try, at least try, you know, to do this with the lower level of education. So
that's interesting. I'm well, fingers crossed, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this in the future. But we've discussed the Green Canteen in depth, and now I would like to move to the other bigger project of yours, which is related to the V-Label, which is that yellow label that we know, I think, I don't know about the world, but across Europe, it's pretty recognizable. And I wanted to ask you how popular these labels actually are in Slovakia, and whether Slovaks are actually perceptible to these, and whether like if you could also explain why labeling is so important for the popularization of vegan and vegetarian products.
Yeah. For me, again, I'm still repeating myself, but also the vegan label, for me, it normalizes the word vegan, which is very important for also our country and for the whole world. And then people do not think vegans eat only vegetables, and okay, most of the people still think it, okay. They also forget about legumes, that you can eat them and make something from legumes like tofu and other things, you know. But anyway, yeah, so if the vegan label appears on more and more products, then the people can choose easier. But people see the word vegan and itself, you know, on the package of the particular product, which is, I find this very, very, very good for the whole vegan movement. And not to mention that if you just travel abroad and want to eat vegan too, and you don't understand maybe the language, and you do not want to you know, read the ingredients or translate them, you recognize this product, you recognize the symbol, and you can choose the product. Yeah, also by the symbol if you like it. And V-Label is also good for the other NGOs, because the V-Label supports the NGOs all over the world and gives them the ability to certify the local products. And you were asking how the Slovaks are perceptible to V-Label. We were doing our the survey with Czech Vegan Society, now it's Pro-Veg Czechia, and we were also interested how they are responding to V-Label. And the results are that 93% of respondents know V-Label, 75% they have positive relationship with V-Label, 74% pay attention consciously, and around 77% trust products with V-Label. So these were very, very positive numbers. Of course, the survey was done via our social media, so the sample was more or less, they were vegans or vegetarians, these people. But we were interested in these numbers, like how the vegans or vegetarians are reacting to the V-Label and the other maybe vegan certifications, and how they trust them. And I think it's very, very important that if a product is vegan, it should have some kind of labeling, because you can recognize it better, and there's a more chance, you know, that these people who are vegans or vegetarians, or maybe are trying to reduce their footprint, it's more important that they notice it this way.
It's very true. I mean, I get really frustrated when I see products that are vegan, because I look at them and I think, okay, this makes sense. I check the ingredient list, it's vegan. I'm like, why is there no label? Like, I'm more happy to purchase product with the label, because I feel that I'm supporting somebody who actually made the conscious choice and knows who they're appealing to. So yeah, and advertises veganism. As you said, this is very important. I never thought about it this way, that actually the presence of the label normalizes veganism as an option. It's not only convenient for us, but it's it actually gets imprinted in somebody's brain maybe. So that's very interesting.
I think so. Also, I have a daughter, just the last thing, and she's vegan or vegetarian. Sometimes she never ate meat in her life, but actually when she sees V-Label somewhere, oh, you should buy this one, you know, because it's vegan, or don't we take this one? So it also works with the children, I think. If you raise them vegan, I don't know, it's shopping is easier with them then.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And I also wanted to ask, because I kind of subconsciously, consciously, on purpose, keep comparing Slovakia to what I know, and I bring examples of Poland or the rest of Europe. And I wanted to ask, because you also keep in touch and you're in a network of different vegan associations, as you mentioned. And I wanted to ask you how, in your opinion, what are the differences in how you function as the Slovak Vegan Society as compared to other vegan organizations in other countries? Are there differences, or is this a similar struggle and work?
Mm-hmm. I actually wrote down really long response to this one, but with many organizations, I think we are very similar. The structure is similar, and the struggles are similar, but I think of course there are many differences everywhere, you know. But I think I can tell you something about ourselves. I do not know exactly how other organizations work. Of course, we know them through V-Label, through Green Canteen, through some calls, through your Vegan Summit. We know each other already, but everybody is doing something else, and yeah, working a little bit different maybe. But our origin is from the 269 movement. We're still ethical vegans. We started officially operating in 2016 when our experience was that people didn't know that, or people knew that animals were suffering, but they didn't know what else they should eat, you know, how to have a good balanced diet, and how to support or how not to support the animal industry. And our platform was at the beginning very informational. We were issuing some info brochures, we were making some Facebook posts, we were translating foreign articles, videos, we were basically did everything in order to move veganism closer to the society. If we had an offer to present at school to the pupils about veganism, we did it. We went there. If we had an offer to make some vegan catering for some marathon, we did everything to do it, you know, just to bring the veganism closer to people. We were connecting various people around, sort of under our roof, and we were trying to collaborate together. And nobody actually gave us any instruction manual and told us how to do that. But I think once you have a passion to change something in the society, you naturally do it, even without having the feeling that you force yourself to work, because you're enjoying what you are doing. And we're still trying to be, let's say, like human in many ways. We do not pretend we are any kind of corporate or things like that. We're still going closer to the people. We are building the community. We're going to make the tasting. We're trying to build the relationship, very good relationships with the partners and with the universities, and try to make them our friends. So this is how we work, and this is how we also build the community, also how we build our team of our members of the Slovak Vegan Society. So I don't know, this is kind of like strategy which I think works for me and for our members. And for example, if we have an offer to promote vegan products which are unhealthy, we are honest and we say that, like, sorry, we are not going to collaborate with this company. So I think that I would really like to keep it also for the future, that we want to stay ourselves, you know, and to have our own opinions, and not to, you know, jump on the greenwashing, how is it called? Propaganda, right. You know, that of course, we need to do the fundraising. You need to collaborate with the companies. But I still think with which companies we are going to collaborate, because, you know, when you promote something on your social media, people notice it, people think critically, they are commenting on it, and you're not going to win a battle in which you do not believe, you know, where you do not believe your opinions. So this is my perception. Yeah.
And what are your plans for the future?
The plans for the future, of course, we want to strengthen and grow our team. So we are trying to do better fundraising, which involves collaboration with the companies we believe in. We also, like I told you, we want to do more vegan tasting, just to be closer to people and just provide them the good taste of vegan food and show them how it tastes, how they can eat, and talk to them, because it's important now when we do not have, hopefully we'll not have in several years, any kind of epidemic or pandemic. So yeah, when now it's time, we want to be closer to people and to make them taste the food. This week we're coming with the new merch line, where we collaborate with an artist and animal activist. We're starting our new e-shop, so there's going to be a lot of work here, I think, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like I told you, we started a conversation with the Portuguese AVP about bringing the vegan menu to the municipalities, and we'll see whether we jump on the project, whether we can raise some funds for it. And for me, like very important thing which we have to do, I already started talking about it with our members and with our nutritionists, is the health guidelines document, which would be very, very good support for all our projects, and where we would normalize veganism or the vegan or plant-based diet on a health level, and which would be kind of approved by Ministry of Health. So this is something very important we should do, because without that we cannot maybe even start a project like I mentioned, the Portuguese one. So yeah, many things happening, and we have also other things for the future, but I will keep them for myself rather.
Of course, I will definitely link your website, especially with the new e-shop launch. I warmly encourage everybody to check it out. I'll be the first one in line as well. So I will provide all the links and information on the Slovak Vegan Society in the description of this episode. And here I wanted to, well, wish you good luck with all the projects, the ones we've heard about and the ones you're for now keeping to yourself, that we'll with anticipation wait for. And thank you for your time today, for your answers. I think this was a very intriguing and interesting trip to Slovakia to see how things are developing there. I think this is also good to know for other countries, other movements, to just take inspiration as well, because I think what you're doing is very impressive, and hearing about the universities, about the label is just, yes, it's something that organizations in other countries can take inspiration from and implement. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that I could be here. Thank you.
Here, per usual, I would like to encourage our audience to follow the European Vegan Summit, the Green REV Institute, but also the Vegan Slovak Society on all social media platforms. From our side, we can provide you with updates on the next edition of the European Vegan Summit, as well as updates on other projects of the Green REV Institute and our partners under the umbrella of Future Food for Climate Coalition and other projects. So follow us on every social media platform. All the links are in the description, and see you next month for the other episode of the European Vegan Summit Talks.